Thank you for listening to this Belly Up Sports Podcast Network product. Some said we go belly up, so we made it our name, and we're still here.
It's time to BS.
So as I sit here at 5:30 in the morning on a Monday, wondering if today was actually a good idea to record, or this morning was a good idea to record, you know, I got coffee brewing in the background. I figured I'd say to myself, what the hell? Why not? Because for crafts and giggles, why not just talk some Islanders hockey? There's been a lot going on. It's been a very interesting last 5 games for the club. And it's not fun. It's not fun at all. I had to get the soundboard working, so I'm sorry about the clicking noise, but whatever. Anyway, welcome to the Isle of BS, a New York Islanders podcast presented by Time to BS and Belly Up Sports Media Network. I'm Dan Cruz. I'm coming to you from the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. Okay, it's, just... I'll be quiet, donut. Every time I sneeze, she starts, making noises and crap, because she's like, I don't like the sneezing, Dad. I'm sorry. Dad gets allergies. Anyway, follow, share, and subscribe to the show wherever you may be listening, however you may be watching on the YouTube platform. Well, we don't have video content of this show on YouTube, but we try. Rate, and review, and follow the show on Apple, Spotify, Good Pods, and Belly Up and Friends pages. Follow the official Time to BS YouTube Facebook page. Wow. Just search Time to BS Podcast, and then post your comments and questions, because why not? Engage in the show. Talk some crap. Talk whatever. I don't know. Just keep it family show. Just try your best, Just try your best. It's not hard. Not hard to be a good person, you know what I mean? I say that as my opinion matters the most, when it sure as hell does not. Oh, boy. Anyway, Islanders have lost 4 out of 5 at home, including a brutal loss to Washington at home, 4-1 yesterday. Question here, is it time to panic? No, it is not time to panic. After losing 4 of 5 and falling to 6th in the Metro. Now, here's my question for all Islander fans here. What were your expectations of the team this season? Seriously, what were your expectations of the team this season? Did you think that they were going to, win 50 games? Get a playoff spot, win the division, maybe compete for the President's Trophy, or were your expectations just win some freaking hockey? Just do some good hockey. You know what I mean? Just good hockey. What were your expectations? Mine, truthfully, were, I just want to see some good hockey. I want to see some good hockey. Not looking for anything else but good all-around hockey. That's it. You know what I mean? I don't think it's time to panic. I think it's First of all, I don't understand why the Isles fan or a sports fan, that's just me, thinks that they're a part of the team. You're a fan, dude. You're a fan. Look at me doing it again, trying to tell people how to live their life. Like, for God's sake, shut up, Dan. Shut up. Yoshi enters the room. But, yeah, I mean, I say these things with a grain of salt and go like, I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. But there's like a weird part of me that tries too hard to tell people how to live their life when, you know, I don't even have my life figured out yet. You know? It's stupid. It's stupid nonsense that is my brain. Anyway, not time to panic. Just relax. It's a sport. I sound so negative. Ew.
Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the up.
Anyway, in terms of the breaking news department, because why not? Kyle Palmieri tore his ACL against Philadelphia and had a nasty assist on an Emil Heineman goal, so, you know, plus to that. That's awesome. That's good to know. Jeez, I sound terrible. Kyle Palmieri tore his ACL against Philadelphia and managed to get a nasty freaking assist on an Emil Heineman goal. The expectations Mark Gatcombe's going to get called up to fill in on the fourth line with Cizikas, McLean, probably Siplikov on the fourth line, rotate in. Get Max Shabanov in some top six reps. See what Richie can do as a third line center. I think he's good enough for a third line center. Pajot's out too, so that kind of sucks, but, you know. It blows. It does. Palms is what, 36? He's 36, right? Yeah, he's 36. So, I mean, hockey players are tough SOBs, but kind of blows when, you know, one of your top scorers tears their ACL. If you can listen to the distance, you can hear someone say, I hope it was Bo Horvat. Because, like, someone hated the Bo Horvat trade that much. Grow up, people. Grow up. Anyway. Timetable for return is 6 to 8 months. They are 1 month off. Anyway. 6 to 8 month recovery time for a torn ACL. That blows, man. That really sucks. And then Pajot's out. What does Pajot have? I can't remember. But JG Pajot, your third line center, is going to be out for a little while. And according to Steven Roser, they're not going to use LTIR for they're not going to use LTIR for Palmieri, but I would expect them to use it. You know, accrued some cap space here and there. They're not going to use LTIR for Pierre. I forgot about Pierre Engvall. Where's he been? Where's Engvall been? Oh, he's been hurt? Okay. Oh, he broke his ankle. That's right. He had ankle surgery. I completely forgot he was still on the team. He's been out for so long. I completely forgot. It's like the curse of Andrew Ladd. You know what I mean? Jeez. This show ain't free, so time for some ads.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at righteousfelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
I have a question here for the room. It goes back to the previous discussion of what your expectations are for this team. Like, why do Isles fans' expectations got to be so high? I'm just very curious. Not for personal speaking, personal goal or whatever. I'm just genuinely curious as to why. Because I've seen a lot of Isles fans, particularly in their 30s or 40s, that say, oh, we got to win the Stanley Cup or else. I'm like, or else what? Or else what? You know? There are actual people that will say that. And you got, genuinely good people in the room that say, I just want to see some good puck. You know what I mean? Just some good hockey. But there are certain fans who I don't know, but we've seen them, that will go, oh, we got to win the Stanley Cup. We're not close to a cup. We should blow it up. I'm like, okay. Just, you sound miserable. But that's just me. But anyway, I want to tell a story before I close up shop. Do you guys remember when the Islanders moved to Brooklyn for a short period of time? You guys remember that? Now, I will credit the NHL where credit is due, because the Islanders, when the UBS did open, start their first 21 games on the road, which thanks to the scheduling committee for that. So that was cool. That was nice. But I remember when they first arrived in Brooklyn. What was it, 2015-16? When they moved to Brooklyn for the first time. They won their first playoff series in 23 years in that building against Florida. It was a good series, too, against the Panthers. It was an awesome series. But I remember when they first announced that Charles Wang was moving the Islanders to Brooklyn. And there was a particular name that I couldn't help but remember, was Nassau County official Kate Murray. Now, my father, who worked with the Coliseum for a little bit for his previous office, mentioned that it wasn't just Murray, it was a whole bunch of other things that led to the move to Brooklyn. Like traffic, a lot of stuff dealing with traffic. Just, and cost effectively speaking for the town of Hempstead or whatever. But then the governor at the time got involved and was like, yeah, we need to move the Islanders back to Long Island. It's the Islanders. Brooklyn is technically speaking Long Island. Technically. Geographically speaking, yes. But county-wise, no. It's not. Geographically, yes. But I don't know, I've been to two Islander games in Brooklyn. It was easy. The bright side, it was easy to get to. It's just you hop on the railroad, Atlantic Terminal's right there, and it's like hop and a skip across Atlantic Avenue to get to Barclays Center. It's a nice freaking building. I will say, Barclays Center is a nice building. It's not hockey material, but it is a nice building. I will say. I did not like how the Islanders wore their black Brooklyn jerseys. Those are okay, you're trying too hard to be the Nets here. Now, I've been to Barclays for a Nets game, and that was awesome. Like, that's a party. That's a party out there in over in Atlantic Avenue. But for Islander games, like, unless you're in the lower bowl or like in the mid to lower bowl, if you're on the upper level for Islander games, it's not a great view. It really isn't. There's certain points of the arena that like it just sucks to be a hockey fan there. Props for props is due. It was easy to get to. Like, especially if you lived in like the Ronkonkoma area, you could just hop on the Long Island Railroad and just go straight to Brooklyn from Jamaica. All you just gotta do is transfer to Jamaica and then you're done. It was easy. Thank God it was easy. Now with you, if I were to play a game and like dissect the differences between UBS and Barclays Center, I would have a lot of fun with this, because UBS, to their credit, they did build the arena like not that far from the new station in Elmont. It's like, yeah, it's a 20-minute walk in freezing cold in like the fall and winter times, but like, you know, they got shuttle service. They really got to figure out a way how to make that work. I mean, it's still early. It's like, what, year 2, year 3 of this project? You know what I mean? So, I think it's year 2. It's year 2. Okay, cool. That's points. Where credit is due. Or is it year 3? I'm not sure. I can't remember these things half the time. But at least they built the arena where it's like easily like a 20-minute walk to get from the arena, or from the railroad station, and right, bam, you get the arena right there. It's a nice view of UBS, and it's a beautiful building. I will say though, it's a beautiful freaking building. Especially is awesome for like concert venues. It's a concert venue galore. And TNA had their Slammiversary pay-per-view over there. And it was full house at UBS for TNA shows. Take it with a grain of salt, but it was nice. Hey, they did a good job. And the AEW sometimes has events over there. But I don't know if WWE is going to want to do that. I don't know if regulation speaking they could do it, but they might be able to. It might work. It's slightly bigger than, say, Oklahoma City. But speaking of OKC, they're getting a new arena. That's nice. But I've rambled on this long enough. Thanks to our friends over at, sponsors and stuff. Thanks for tuning in, guys. My name is Dan Cruz. I'm coming in from the Department of BS on the beaches of lovely Long Island, New York. And I'll see you all in this life and most certainly the next one. Cheers, everyone. Have a good week.